Alright guys, welcome back. So let's do the arm. For the arm I'm gonna go mask where I want it to be, like here. And I'm gonna control click to invert the mask and alt click there to reposition my gizmo and just drag it out like that. Okay, and maybe rotate it a little bit. Doesn't do too much. Drag it down and then I measure it. Now I'm not creating the arm like that long, but I want that to be a start that I can go for, so I'm gonna go use the clip curve and to cut it out there. I'm gonna drag these things around to kind of like mimic the shape of the deltoid. Okay, and here on the back, right, it's wrapping and goes beneath this guy here. Oops. This guy here, and our clavicle goes beneath it. So it's like this guy is on the top, so this is 1 and this is 2 and this is 3, kind of like overlapping. Gonna drag these guys around just to get a proper, I guess, a proper proportion, right, size wise. The muscles should be connected to the inside of the arm, and when they start pulling, they can pull arm down. Right. Again, you shouldn't need to bother these guys too much. Just need to give them a proper, bigger shape, and they're just something embedded on the surface, I guess. But it wouldn't hurt to try to give them some detail. As you can see, I'm doing the body a lot here. Now the reason being is because, you know, that's where the arm grows out, and it's always a good idea to make sure that you got these things correct, right, before you move on. So yeah. Oops, drag that up too much. If I want to have that muscle stronger, I can maybe just sculpt it here on the back. Anyway, and you have the clavicle goes right up on top of it, on top of the clavicle, on top of the deltoid. You can really move your hand there, and you can actually feel that bone here, right? It's connected, or connected, yeah, to the the clavicle on the back. They form a arc. And what's beyond that arc is considered maybe the neck part, and below that is where the ribcage starts. Let me smooth that out and just dynamesh it. Okay, now I'm happy maybe with that. I'm not sure yet, but let's actually have the arm extruded out from here. Okay, and Control Enter to reverse it, and an Alt click there, right, to drag out the arm. Alright, and oftentimes I just drag it to to the same height of where the bottom of the torso is. That's a proper length, and then I measure it. Of course, I think it's going out too much. Maybe drag it in, right? And again, the same process one more time. First, find out the proper arc, and oftentimes just make the arm bended a little bit like that. Reason being for that is because not just because that's a normal or natural pose, but rather I think that's also what the rigger wants to have when they're doing rigging. So that's not super important because you can model it in whatever way you want. You don't have to really concern too much about what the rigger needs because you can always repose it, right? So don't worry too much about that. Make sure that your pose looks good and natural. And it's important because otherwise it's gonna look weird or too straight and too stiff or non-organic because you make them like going straight up and down and left and right, you know. So anyway, so I'm gonna extend again the deltoid here just to, you know, give it a nice shape. Moving on to the back, and it's like this kind of like shape wrapping around like that, and you have the muscles from the clavicle going beneath that, okay, going beneath the deltoid. Okay, and now one of the visible muscle here is the bicep, right? It's like a big capsule here, and again it goes underneath the deltoid. Smooth that out a little bit. Kind of want the arm to be a little bit wider here to give it some volume. Maybe also for the back too. All right, let me just give it a little bit more volume so we can see it here. Now from the front, you have the deltoid and the bicep right there, kind of like intersecting like this, and then from the back of this tip here, you grow out another strand of muscle, and it kind of like goes in and it goes this way a little bit, and also the bicep, you can be separated into two smaller parts, and this part also kind of like goes in. But you know, those are underlying structure. Again, you probably wanted to make them smoother like that. Alright, and then keep going down. We have this guy here. Now this guy again, it grows, almost goes like halfway through the upper arm, grows from there, and because it's connected to the bone there. And the name of this guy basically is the name of the combination of this bone and the other bone here, and is used to drag the lower arm around. And here, and drag this guy out, almost like a counterpart at the bottom of the arm. Okay, and you have muscles growing out like this. Okay, so yeah, like that. And from the back, let's take a look. So we have the tricep. Tricep again goes below the muscles, two muscles, right? The muscles from the scapular and the muscle of the deltoid. It's going like beneath these two and goes out, and it starts to also spread out into two chunks, as you can see what I'm trying to describe here, like two chunks, right? One like this, another one like that. It's almost like the ones on the leg, but this one looks like a heart shape. It really looks like a heart shape to me. You know, this is the prettiest muscle on the human body, I'll say that, but I guess it's your judgment. It looks really nice. I like how the proportion and everything about this muscle. And what it's wrapping around is basically the elbow right over there. So let me just draw it out real quick. And there's a muscle wrapping around the elbow, or on top, I guess. And from the side of it, you grow out these guys. I'm gonna clip that out just to push it in. And sometimes I worry about bigger shapes more. I think it's important that you check these guys and see if you're getting the result you are looking for, right? The silhouette you're looking for. Because if those are wrong, again, I think I have mentioned this multiple times already, but if these are wrong, then it doesn't really matter how good your muscle was. They're just gonna be disturbing or destructive. Okay. So here basically you can think of it in the back in this way. You have the elbow, right? You can have this going down and you have just muscles wrapping around it. Right, so another muscle in the middle between these two. And even another one here. Again, don't want it to go too far there. Okay, here you have like a cluster of muscles. This part is almost, to me, it's kind of like the most like high frequency muscle part of the human body. Just have a lot of strength. But you can also consider like this big portion as one, because you know they are a big portion, and oftentimes again if you don't really develop those muscles, it's not going to be visible as individual parts. Okay, so don't want you to also exaggerate that too much. Okay, I guess that's basically the arm. And we have finished the body. So as you can see, so every little piece here, you should spend like 10 to 20 minutes range, like the torso, the leg, and the arm. So that kind of like time range to at least have this kind of like blocking out effect. I think I make the arm too long, so I'm gonna cut that out. And sometimes that happens, and I guess I have to mask the middle, right, and then cut it through. Okay. Anyway, so I cut it in a tilted way. All right, that's better. Done a mesh maybe? Okay. So you spend some time on these guys, but you don't want it to spend on one part for very long before move on to the next. Have those things all blocked out, and then you can really see the bigger picture, right? And see if something is wrong and not really working, and you tweak the big proportion here. Now oftentimes for some people, like because like for some people they are not as good as other people I mean, to observe shapes, right? It's better to always keep those concepts in mind, like, because we're not all genius, right? So just be aware of trying those methods, right? Those philosophies that about the sculpting, like you always want to be able to control the bigger shapes, always be able to like maintain the bigger proportion, correct when you're doing detail or other things, right? No matter what you're doing, you should be able to, and always trying to control the bigger proportions, see if they fit. I think I'm over exaggerating this part, just wanted to give it some more visible, like nice muscle structure, I guess. Alright, so that's gonna be the body sculpting, and maybe in the next one I'm gonna show you like some cleanup. But basically that's what this is. And I'm gonna do some cleanup. Maybe also show you how we can just create a temporary hand and foot, so we can have a full body there. Okay, see you next time.